How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the 5-Star Potential Podcast Social. Hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And it's episode 24 now. I think day 24 of the podcast. Dude's trying to put me off. But yeah, I hope you guys. Yeah, exactly. I hope you guys are keeping well and safe. And we've got another podcast coming up today. Alongside me today, as you can see, we've got Dupe. Dupe, how's it going, man?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, not horrendous day. Genuinely horrendous day. Followed by quite a shitty evening. But you know, we're here. We're here. What more can we ask for?
Well, I hope everything improves.
It's work, mate. Work was just shit today. I turned up to work and we've probably got about 20 items, 20 bits of kit on site that are like critical to business. I drove in this morning. For some reason, I was like 20 minutes early. And there's 3 of them just not working. And that's like all hands to deck. I didn't stop till like 2:15 from getting there at 7:30 this morning before I even had a brew or a poo. So I was all over the shop. And then I got home and my little boy is just really not very well at all. And I streamed and I had to stop it early because he's not been very well. And because it's like a chesty thing. He's got a really rattly chest. And it's happened before. He's had this before. We've taken him to the doctors, and they said, well, he's got to go for a COVID test. So then we've all had to isolate. He's gone and got a test. He said it's negative. He's not got it. And then they've done fuck all about it. So now we're back to square one again. So do we take him to the doctors and then have to have a week off isolating when it's coming up to my busiest period of work ever, where I really can't take a week off? Social dilemmas is just horrendous.
I mean, I'm not.
Apart from that, Dave, I'm fucking spot on, mate.
Do you reckon it could be asthma? All jokes on. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, I think he has to take an inhaler now. But I don't know, man. It's just a year ago we have this conversation. They take him into the doctors. They do the test. They listen to his heart. Their chest, and they won't do any of that. They won't touch him. It's causing quite a lot of pain. And the missus, I think we got. I mean, what did we get? Left the call about 1:30 last night, or 26 minutes past, as the message said. I then went and got into bed. He was in, like, coughing up. I think I got to bed about 4:30 last night, and then woke up about 5:30, 5:45 to then get ready to go to work. So, candle at both ends is currently being burnt. So much so, I didn't even have time for a meal deal. So today's been very bad, David.
I was going to ask that as well. Like, you haven't had time to do your business before 2, and you still even didn't get time to do a meal deal either. So
no, I emptied and still couldn't fill up. So I'm not impressed, David.
It's a struggle.
Well, mate.
I hope your
first world problems
improves.
Or what? Yeah, it's going to improve massively because I will also say I'm on call. So if I do shoot off, it's because I might have got called out, and I've got to work tomorrow. Like, in the words of, I don't know who sung it, but things can only get better, right?
Joe, would you know that? The singer of that? That's an 80s thing, isn't it? That's past before my time. Benji would know.
For a bonus point, do you know?
Is it?
You're asking me to be cultured. You're doomed.
Who's it?
Is it D-Ream?
D-Ream. Oh yeah, I think it is actually. Now you say that. Was it things can only get? I want to say Weber because of things can only get better. Yeah, D-Ream. You're correct. Yeah.
Joe, Pop Master.
Oh, it's 93. I do apologise. Yeah, I do.
93. I was born. To be fair.
Yeah, I was -4 at that point. So. Yeah. Joe as well.
Even a sparkle in your ball. Dad's ball sack, was it?
It's twice we've mentioned sex today.
How's it going, Joe? How's your day been?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. It's been busy day. Black Friday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How was it?
I haven't even bought anything.
We'd
been
setting it up for a month to be fairly busy, and my God, it was ridiculous. And I will say, we had 2 Met police officers come in, on there whilst working to come and buy some stuff. Neither of them wore masks in the shop.
That's because they got handcuffs, so they don't need to, right?
Just a thing.
Did you tell him? Excuse me, lads.
I did make a joke because he bought a balaclava and he said, "Oh, I could rob a bank now." I said, "Yeah, you don't need a COVID mask either."
Do you know, like, to be honest,
Do you
right,
wear 'em, Joe,
of
when you
all
work?
the people
Do you wear 'em in
I'd
the shop,
love to
Joe?
be involved with is that with you.
Yeah.
Because you're just quick like that, aren't you?
That's just... You wouldn't walk in anywhere, though, without it at the moment, would you? Like...
Mate, I don't understand what people's problems is wearing a mask. If I wear a mask, and I love wearing a mask, I wear it every day, all day, and it hides all 17 of my chins. It's the best. It's like the greatest invention ever.
I saw a clip, I don't know whereabouts, it was in the UK, and basically some guy had obviously told a youngish lad, I'd say youngish, probably maybe late teens, like, why aren't you wearing a mask on the train? And the guy took exception to it and tried to start a fight with this bloke. And he's just like mouthing off. And the guy was like, mate, just put a mask on. He's like, why are you putting your hands in my face? And all of a sudden, this massive Polish guy comes down the train, just absolutely wails the
I
kid.
saw that,
yeah, you see it? Apparently, he said something. I didn't clock what he said.
Oh.
Yeah. He said something, and I didn't clock what he said. But someone in the chat says, when he says this, you know, shit's about to go down. Yeah.
I see someone's been printing masks that it says across the front, and it says your nose goes underneath this.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. I've seen one that's there's some really good ones out there. Like, I know we've mentioned sack twice. We're going to mention it a third time. You can get like full sack. Like,
What?
that's the other pod we're sponsored by that.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'll show you. I'll get the picture up whilst you introduce the next guest.
I was gonna say we had a delivery driver have a weird one of them like almost Joker type smiles, which is a bit weird.
Yeah, someone at the deli in my town has one of those as well.
It's weird, that is. Anyway, Jetta, our final guest. Sorry, it's been 7-8 minutes and we haven't introduced yet. We've got Jetta, also known by his first name is Andrew. Started streaming in Football Manager during the first lockdown. First lockdown here in the UK. And well within the community now, man. How's it going?
Yeah, it's good. I think the first thing I'll say is the US hasn't ever really had a lockdown, which has been an interesting one. But no, I'm good. I've been hanging in there. I'm also a university student, so taking classes online, trying to balance it all, the same as everyone trying to balance all their work. But I've been good. It's been a decent day for me. I've certainly had a better day than it seems like Dupe had. Just kind of sat here recovering from all the turkey I ate yesterday.
Oh man.
Oh, I did that too. I'm not even American, but I definitely did that.
No, I asked you before we started because like Thanksgiving, like it's always not confused me, but I always like I'm not sure. Like when I went to America, I've been to America sort of twice. I think when I first went in New York, like some of the food choices and stuff, I was like, why is that out for breakfast and why is this here there? So like for your Thanksgiving, like for people listening, what is like the standard go-to Thanksgiving food?
Yeah, so I mean it changes from area to area. Like if you go to the deep south, it'll be different than if you're in the Midwest. But as a New Yorker, we're kind of fairly standard. It's turkey, a lot of stuffing, normally some mashed potatoes, some corn, some carrots. Sometimes people will throw in some other stuff. There's normally a lot of gravy.
Yeah.
And then the other necessary is a lot of people like cranberry sauce. I hate it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think it's awful.
This sounds like
it's
a standard
there.
Sunday roast in UK, doesn't it? Yeah.
Can you help me? Because we were talking about this yesterday after the pod, and I think Curtie was referencing the fact that this time last year he was in Vegas, and he did the whole Thanksgiving, and he said that there was some yams with marshmallows on top. Now, is that Curtie just being Curtie, or is
no?
that
That's
genuine?
an actual thing. I've never had them.
Yams
but
are meant to be vegetables, right?
yeah, so
And you put marshmallows on vegetables.
there's a reason the United States has a problem with obesity.
To be fair, mate, I can't really talk. But
That's because you've got breathing difficulties.
yeah, that's the diabetes. But yes, no, that's crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
I thought I was a bit of a
so-
rebel having kiwi with a little bit of sugar on. But you've gone the whole hog there, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so for Christmas, my family, candied yams aren't like crazy. They're just like, it's just yams with a lot of like sugar on them. But there's people who put some crazy, crazy sugar on all of their food.
Wait,
There's a crazy American TikTok lady. Have you seen that, Dave?
is she the one that tries to recreate UK things? Because that is
So
disgusting.
she made tea the other day. Too
no.
fair.
Iced tea,
And
wasn't
she
it? Wasn't it iced tea?
It was iced tea. Yeah. And she put water. She put some something, and then she just literally had a jar of sugar, and she just went, So yeah, we just pour that in. A little bit more, yeah, and then a little bit more, and it stirs it. And she's like, "Wow, what the?"
No, it was the fish and chips one, wasn't it? It was rough. She put like a fish in like a full fish you'd buy in the microwave. It was rough, man. It was.
And then she did the steak in the microwave as well, didn't she? I think she does it for memes. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she definitely does it. Yeah, to wind people up. Yeah.
It works. Like, honestly, God, it works.
So Gordon Ramsay react to it. Like Ramsay was like distraught. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. Yeah.
Bless him.
Well, so wait, what are yams? You keep saying that. Like, what are the vegetables?
They're just sweet potatoes, essentially.
Right,
I thought yam yams were from where you live, Dave.
Yam, yeah. Someone from Wolverhampton, yeah.
With marshmallows on top.
Yeah.
I mean,
put a marshmallow on my head next time. Yeah.
I mean, I think the craziest thing I've ever seen that's like an actual meal that people will consistently eat in the States is if you go to the South, if you go to like Georgia or if you go to like Tennessee, for lunch and dinner they will do chicken and waffles. So you have fried chicken and waffles, and that's like a meal that people actually eat and think is normal.
Whenever I was younger, I always just thought like I always had potato waffles. So like when they used to reference waffles on the TV, not like potato waffles.
That would work in this situation. That would work.
Yeah.
Like chicken and potato.
Whenever
waffles.
it got referenced, I'm having waffles with syrup. I always thought, why are you having potato waffles with syrup and ice cream and stuff? And I never understood it until I actually had a waffle, like what I'd call an American waffle. So yeah. You know what I'm about the UK, like Dupe and Joe. You know what a potato waffle is, isn't it? Yes, you do.
No.
You know what a potato waffle is?
Never heard of them, mate.
Yeah, yeah. I've been a chief.
That's just weird.
Yeah. I've not had them in years.
Potato waffles.
No.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who doesn't know what it
They
is.
do know. They're winding me up here. They're winding me up here, Joe.
Days a bit.
Now I need to look this up.
Must
They're
be a
like these
youngster
little
thing.
square things that you can cook and you can.
I've not had them in
shove it in
years, to be
oven.
fair. I've not had them in years.
You can, actually, I think you can do them in the toaster, can't you?
Oh, I've had a potato waffle before.
Yeah,
They're literally like a hash brown.
It's like
just
a roasted
in
potato almost, but
Yeah, it's just a waffle, or it's just a potato in waffle shape.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it.
Essentially.
There you go. Yeah. But that's what I thought. I was like, why are people having like ice cream and syrup and stuff on those? But yeah. And then when I
You okay, Dave? You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright now.
I just want to check.
Yeah, I'm alright now. I was devastated by that. Yeah. What is the?
I mean, we've got kids. We know what potato waffles are.
I mean, it's a staple diet because you just whack them, bang, done. There you go, lad.
Remember that?
Enjoy that.
Them and smiley faces as well. Remember smiley faces?
No.
Elite.
Shut
I
up.
had those.
You have had
I'll tell you
those
this,
as well.
Dave.
Yeah.
A little tip for you. Next time you do a fry up, chuck some of them in.
That just
Works very
delish.
nicely.
Smiley faces, spaghetti hoops, and all that. Oof.
I used to like alphabet spaghetti. And I think that's kind of where, like,
That's
I call
like
it dyslexia, to be fair.
that's like UK like tapas in it, like smiley faces, spaghetti hoops, yeah, stuff like that. Innit?
Fucking turkey Twizzlers.
Yeah.
I'm
You
trying
know
to
what's
think now,
elite? The
little
baked
sausage
beans,
rolls.
the baked beans with a little pork sausage
No,
in as well.
surely our
Oh, yeah.
tapas, Dave, would be a finger buffet at a 50-year-old's birthday party.
Party rings,
Disco.
party rings,
Yeah, or a wake. Food's always good at a wake.
Yeah.
Oh, awake.
Which is something you will not, Joe.
Set that one up for him.
Yeah.
I know.
What-
Sometimes you have to try hard to get the jokes.
Obviously, like in terms of America is quite well. Like a lot of the reasons UK or British people like to go to America is because of the food. They all think, oh, the food's going to be amazing here, or here. Is there anywhere in the country that you've not been to but would really like to go to because of the food? Like, is there anywhere in a certain area of the country you think, oh my god, I'd love to try this, or you've seen on a program? Because obviously there's loads of programs about that sort of stuff as well.
I mean, so I'm lucky being in New York. There's food from just about everywhere.
Yeah.
That if anyone wants to be a chef, they'll come to New York. So you can get just about anything you want.
Yeah.
I will say I've not been to a ton of the country. I've been to the West Coast a little bit, but I think it would be really nice to like go out to California because I've only ever been for like 3 days, and I know they have their own stuff. Like I can't think of like a type of food off the top of my head, but just generally, California has like a ton of famous restaurants. Obviously, it's a little bit more especially if you're in the South, it's a little bit more influenced by Mexican cuisine.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, the In-N-Outs to die for. I'd definitely just go for that.
yeah, but to be fair, there's a lot of good burger places in New York too.
Yeah, I know, but it's not
Yeah,
In-N-Out.
Dude's been a couple of times. He don't mention it much.
He said it before we started. What's your like? Because in the UK, obviously we've got a lot of the fast food places. We've got like your McDonald's and Five Guys are cropping up a lot more. Taco Bell is here and there in the UK and just places like that. But for you, what's the like go-to fast food restaurant? If you wanted a quick snack or quick meal, what's the go-to for you?
So, if it was closer to my house, I've genuinely considered driving an hour for this, and it's fast food. But Chick-fil-A is so good. But as far as what's close to my house, I just go for McDonald's.
Yeah, there's McDonald's everywhere in America. Like, it's a ridiculous stat about how many there are in
When I went to New York,
there's so many McDonald's just in Manhattan alone. I want to say there's over 100.
That is
easy.
Mad,
Just mad.
Like you can go like 4 blocks and it's like, oh, there's another McDonald's, there's a Starbucks.
If you had to walk out your house,
they love Starbucks as well.
If you had to walk out your house now, how long would it take you to walk to a McDonald's?
Closest one probably 15-20 minutes.
Oh, right.
I'm closer. Mine's probably 7 minutes walk to get to McDonald's. I say probably. It's only 6.5 and about 432 steps, but it's not like I've counted.
No,
Every time I take
my closest one's over 10 minutes.
I love about America.
Sorry, go on, dude.
That's all right, mate. The one thing I love about America is the soda. I'm a massive Fanta Grape fan. Massive Dr. Pepper Cherry fan. There's some decent stuff they do. I get it imported over and it costs me an absolute fortune. And like, I think I was paying the equivalent of about $3 a can. And then when we went to California, we went to like a Target. I think it was Target. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might have been a Walmart. It's probably a Walmart actually, isn't it? And like you had the 12 packs for like $3, and I'm like, hang on, that's ridiculous. I've been buying one of them for $3, and I can now buy 12. So my suitcase had a few of those in.
Oh yeah.
But then they wait a lot.
That's the other thing about the US. Like everything is just bought in bulk. Like it's not like you get like one bottle. It's like you can buy like 4 for the price of like 1.5, just because they want you to buy everything and then everyone gets fat.
Oh man, food's always the easiest topic to talk about. Like, what was it last week? We just had a whole episode about meal deals. Like, it's just always easy to talk about.
I think the problem is when, like, especially with a place like New York, if you don't do your prep before, we struggled to find somewhere to eat. The reason being is because there was just so much choice.
Yeah.
And you're kind of walking down, you're like, oh, that place looks nice. Oh, hang on, couple of a block up, look at that one, and then you go again and you're just like, shit, it's fucking 9 o'clock. All right, we'll just get a Mackie D's and go back to the room, and then we'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah, and the other thing is, which a lot of people don't know, I mean, obviously New York's known for its pizza.
Yeah.
But like,
nice.
There's genuinely like, there's a thing in New York which a lot of people don't know about, is like there's places that pride themselves on being the best dollar slice of pizza in New York, and there's hundreds of places that just sell pizza and you can get a slice for $1.
I learned that.
But it's like some of them are like, oh, we're the best one, and then it's just absolutely shit. And then there's other ones where it's actually like decent. And I literally like, I have an app on my phone just to be able to like tell me which ones are the good and bad slices.
I went when I went,
like my sort of app.
I think even after the place I went was Raymond's Pizza off the top of my head in Manhattan.
Everyone loves Raymond.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. But I'm sure that was dirt cheap, and it was an absolutely huge pizza. But that was 10 years ago. He's probably gone. Who knows? But yeah, I can't. Like you say, dude, there's so many places to eat there. But
Crazy. It is mad.
So
like, I went just prior to the whole COVID bollocks. Like I got home, and then 2 weeks later, New York kind of had their little mini lockdown, and we were like, oh, we timed that very well. But it's I know we take the piss and that, but like it's a brilliant place to visit. It's so difficult to kind of, if you have never been, to kind of try and explain just how awesome it is. But you're very lucky to live there, man. Very lucky.
Yeah, and I was like a little kid. I was always like, oh, like Manhattan's cool. My parents both worked in the city, and I was like, oh, we're just gonna go like visit Mom's office, and she was like 2 blocks from the Empire State Building. And be like, oh, look at that tall building at like age 5.
Yeah.
Like absolutely clueless as to the fact that like 90% of the world wants to go, and the other 10% either doesn't know or has already been.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So obviously you say you living at the moment in New York, but you're studying where DC? Did you say?
Yeah. I'm living at home right now, which is why my room actually looks well put together, and I'm not living on my own. But I'm probably going to be moving down to DC. I'm a university student at a uni down in DC, so I'll be moving back down there for January.
So what are you studying there?
I'm a business student, so my focus is accounting.
Herb likes this.
Makes sense why I like Football Manager.
Yes. Definitely.
Are you good with your money on Football Manager?
I'm good with my money. I'm not good with tactics.
Not good at the game, but great with money.
Yeah, I mean, I can make very cheap signings, but just put the assistant manager in charge of all match things.
Director.
It's like the opposite of a director of football challenge. I am the director of football.
I am the captain now.
How long have you played Football Manager? Is this like the first year or?
So I got into it on like FM 15, I want to say, but like prior to FM 20, I'd maybe had 1,000 hours total over like 4 or 5 editions. Yeah. So it was kind of like a casual, like my claim to fame prior to FM 20 was my first ever save. Randomly took over Sutton United and led them to a double in the National League.
Yeah.
Won the league and won the trophy. And then that was it. And I since then just it was always like I'd buy the game on release, do one save, get sacked, and then give up on it for like 5 months, and then go back to it at some point.
Dave's got a trick for that.
Yeah, Dave and Reload. You'll learn that, I'm sure. Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
When you buy the t-shirt, you'll learn it.
Save scum.
Yeah. Were you into football or soccer in America? Were you into it, or how did you get into football?
Not really. I mean, so I personally, I'm a swimmer. I've swam competitively my whole life. Gave up on it when I went to uni because I decided I didn't want to swim in uni. I just wanted to take classes. Mm-hmm. But I kind of got into football actually through FIFA, which is really sad. But picked up a FIFA game in like FIFA 14 and then just kind of slowly started watching it. Ended up watching like YouTube videos, and I've just kind of become a fan. It worked conveniently that NYCFC, my main club, were founded right as I was getting into the sport, because I was able to support them as they were getting created. So that's been really cool for me. Like I went to our first ever Hudson River Derby, first playoff match, and our most recent playoff match. So it's kind of like I've been able to be there since the start, but like I was not raised on it my whole life.
They've had some decent players as well.
Yeah, first ever signing of David Villa. We've had Pirlo. I have my Pirlo kit behind me in one of the drawers. Paid for it at a stadium. Paid like triple price because it's Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
Who's the manager there now? Is it still Vieira?
No.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ronnie Deila.
Oh, still ex-Celtic, isn't he?
He was at Celtic.
Yeah. It always interests me how like people from different countries get into almost different sports, because obviously I know football over in the States is growing still, and it's been like since maybe when David Beckham went over, all those years ago. But like Joe and Dupe, you're into the American sports. Like I've never really been, I mean I'd watch basketball or watch American football or whatever, but I don't take an avid interest into it. Like I don't know, either of you, how did you even get into that sort of thing as well?
So when you have kids or you don't sleep, American sports are on at those times of nights.
To be fair with me, like it's just my old man. My old man had family in Philadelphia. In the 80s, he went over to Philadelphia to see his auntie, and she took him to a game. And so, kind of when he come back and had kids and was watching on the telly, it was, well, this is the team that I follow. And I was like, oh, okay, well, explain. Let's talk about it. How does this work? What happens? and he didn't have a fucking clue. So, so I've had to self-teach myself everything. But I learned a lot of it from playing Madden. Become a Philadelphia Eagles fan for my sins. Won the Super Bowl, which was tremendous. Shed a tear for winning the Super Bowl. And to be fair, I was actually talking earlier about how I got into my hockey and into basketball. Was going over to America in New York. I couldn't sleep because of time differences, so I was up at 3 a.m. in the morning, sat on my Surface Pro playing Football Manager whilst having the reruns of the ice hockey and the basketball on the TV, because it's like everywhere, wall to wall. It's like match of the day, just constantly being repeated.
Yeah, because it's not just match of the day for one sport. There's match of the day for 7 different sports.
And then
so
you've got the
a
college
game.
basketball as well, which is just as insane. And we were in New York. There was a monumental game apparently, with Duke and somebody else, and it's where he had a free throw and he hit the rim to then catch it to then do a 3-pointer, send it to overtime, and then did exactly the same in overtime to win. And like, it was on repeat about 50 million times, and I mean, you'd think I'd remember after watching it that long, but unfortunately not. But yeah, that's how I got into it, Dave.
It's class. That is like, it's mad. Like I said, I've had NBA games, NFL games, NHL games. I enjoy playing them, but just like outside of football, I've just never really spent time or gone out of my way to watch them really and really get into it. So it's just one of those things.
He's got a life.
Yeah.
No, but I think this year, well, the last 2 years definitely. I like watching American football. I like watching the Eagles, and that was it. That's all I used to like watching, was my team. And then I got introduced to doing fantasy football, and you think you put a lot into your FPL team when you have to draft your players and you have to trade throughout the season, because you can only have it's like a full-time job. And then this year I took a second league up, so now I've got 2 teams, and I don't know much about American football outside of the Philadelphia Eagles, so I'm learning a lot more by doing it. And I feel that my knowledge on American football in the last 2 years has come on tenfold.
Yeah, I remember when I was like, I'd probably say like 15 in school. I was in my peak, I was in 4 different leagues, and I was like, because the other thing is, which is so different to FPL, is American football or fantasy football follows a lot of American sports rules, which is that like it's super heavy on trading and that's why people always hate the MLS on FM, by the way, because no one understands the rules, because it doesn't follow actual football rules in Europe. But it's like, I think it's so funny how like you can totally screw people over with a trade, whereas in FPL it's like, oh, this person's bad, I'll drop him and pick someone else up. It's a totally different ball game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been I'm doing an MLS save this year, so I'm going to do a Philadelphia Union. Now, granted, they won the Shield this year. I'm not massive like into the MLS, but I felt that they're one of the better sides at the moment, so it's actually not a bad idea to learn a lot whilst doing a better side. But we've referenced it a lot on this podcast. That I've been listening to the Tony Jamesons and Matt Richards, the football manager therapy, and I've just finished the US special. And I was talking about it on stream tonight, and I'm like, we're meant to be going to France for like 15 seasons. I quite fancy doing the US one now, because I really kind of feel a little bit like I want to get in and get that done, because it just sounds so exciting, and I've never managed it. All the trades
if you need
and all
a hand,
that,
I'm happy to help.
Yeah, I'll just pop over to you and you can give me a hand, all right? Perfect. Take me down the city and all that jazz, yeah?
So did you guys see, I doubt you probably did, but my team, NYCFC, got knocked out in the playoffs a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was in a penalty shootout. So the playoffs, it's like one leg goes straight to penalty.
Shootout?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, mate. It was even over here, mate. It was all over.
The one where the keeper got sent off for a second yellow for stepping off his line.
Crazy.
That was it.
Then an outfield player has to get in goal and manages to make a save, because, of course, my team wouldn't be able to bury a penalty against an outfield keeper.
Like,
naturally.
Yeah, that was.
Like, it all got confusing at the end because they thought they won it.
Yeah, the referee blew the whistle, didn't he? And then they had to take a penalty anyway. It was weird.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was mad.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
I mean, in the nicest possible way, it didn't really set the in a nice light, to be honest. But no, it was very interesting. It got a lot of highlights over here. There's a lot of talk about it over here.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the craziest things is you look at MLS highlights that aren't from this year. Probably a third to a half of them are just going to be Alphonso Davies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he was so much better than the quality we have. And, like, the MLS is growing a lot. I was talking about it actually on stream earlier. But, I think the U.S. is, 6 years away from being competitive internationally. But the MLS is still so far behind because no one's ever going to come to the U.S. over playing in the Champions League. And that's a Europe-only thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always been seen as not a retirement home as such, but a retirement home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it is. And it's getting better. Like, we are producing some talent that's actually going to Europe as a youngster.
Yeah.
But it's the only people who we've really been able to get in their prime is Vela. That's about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Bradley White Phillips.
He was class over in America. And he was absolutely.
He's done really well in America, right?
He's done very well in the U.S., but
isn't he the leading goal scorer?
He's one of. And the other person who did very well was what's his name? The short Italian dude.
Giovinco.
There we go.
Yeah. I was thinking about him as well. Yeah.
He's done well, but it's something that's really interesting. The U.S. is celebrating the fact that we have 10 players registered for Champions League squads across Europe, and that's the most we've ever had.
There's a lot of Americans playing in Europe at the moment, though. There's a lot of
there
Americans,
and all of them are young.
We've got one at
Giovanni
Wolves,
Reyna is going to be a star.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think my favorite, just because of his name, is Reggie Cannon, playing for Boa Vista. Quality name.
Great.
It's a proper American name.
Hey, Reggie.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. That was loads. There's Owen Otasawi, who plays for Wolves, was in the latest national team. Eunice.
Weston McKennie.
Weston McKennie, Eunice Musa, Reyna. There's quite a few in there. Out and about.
Weah's kid as well.
Yeah.
Serginho Dest is going to be a star.
Yeah.
He went out on
Dani Alves' replacement.
Yeah, he's going to be very good.
Timothy Weah was at loan at Celtic last year, and he wasn't very good. Or the year before, it might have been a couple of years ago actually.
Think so.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Where is he at now?
And then Tyler Adams is.
I can't remember.
Where is Weah?
Is it Ren?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Who
Timo Weah.
Weah.
No, he's at Lille.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's at Lille.
Yeah. Knew someone.
He was playing with Seaman last year. That's the only reason I know. Sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, promising signs, man. Promising signs for.
Yeah. I'm excited, and we're hosting 2026 with Canada and Mexico. So hopefully, if we can develop over the next 5 years, might actually be able to make some noise.
Yeah.
Instead of Alexi Lalas in 1994, the last time you had it.
And I mean, the last time we tried to qualify, we got knocked out by Trinidad and Tobago. So
I remember that. Yeah.
Hopefully only up from here.
Well, you played England as well. We had an absolute stink. You remember that one?
That was one of the worst matches.
Yeah, that's the English, mate. We that was disastrous. That was. But
we can't perform in a tournament.
I did hear that. I didn't watch the games, but they played pretty well. America in the latest international break. I think especially against Wales and stuff.
It was decent. Definitely happy with it. But I mean, I just want to kind of keep seeing more of the youngsters getting involved, because we have a mix of we have some people who are 26, 27 who are established national team players, and I'm kind of I just want them to get out, and I want us to just be using our youngsters who are going to be so much better in the future, but just aren't quite there yet. And it's I'd say it's probably fairly similar with the English national team. There's some players in there who are in there, and you guys are probably tired of, and you want to see the likes of Foden and Greenwood.
It's been like that for years, man. It's been like that. It was it'd always been like that. And when you remember Sam Allardyce came in, and he the thing is though
he'd have won us a World Cup, mate.
The thing is, his first squad was all the players were on form rather than experience. A lot of them were a lot of the players were wow, he's called up this person. He won his first game quite comfortably. Was it 4-0 off the top of my head? Was it? I'm probably completely wrong. I've got a feeling now they drew, but then obviously there was a massive behind the scenes hoo-ha, and he lost his job. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see Big Sam. That's why I'm interested in Sean Dyche maybe taking the role, because he ain't going to take no rubbish, is he? So, yeah. Looking forward to the future. Outside of that, though, Andrew, you got any other interest? What's your major go-to sport, other than swimming?
I mean, for actually watching, I love college basketball. Especially considering I'm a college student. I go to all of our games.
Yeah.
And actually, college soccer, my university won the championship this past year for the NCAA. So that was fun to watch. We had a couple players get drafted into the MLS. One of them scored on his debut and then proceeded to tear his ACL.
Oh, man.
Which you hate to see.
Yeah.
But it's fun having sports. Like, I can walk 3 minutes to go to the games and I don't have to pay.
Yeah.
Which is really nice.
It's
And then
mad when you watch the college football and you watch the college basketball and they've got 60, 70,000 people there.
oh yeah, I mean the biggest stadium for college football in the country is Michigan, and it's 101,000.
Yeah. Right.
No one gives a crap
But-
about stuff like that in England. Like
No.
like in terms of English sports, maybe.
To be fair though, Dave, we don't have the structure for it.
Well,
to be fair.
all of their stuff is like televised and stuff in it. And because
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
draft
Yeah,
system-
but it's also like, because of the way that our leagues are set up, there's no promotion relegation. All the teams that are bad, instead of getting relegated, get a higher draft pick, and they just take people from the universities.
yeah.
And then just get better and better.
I
Yeah,
suppose that's why,
it's,
yeah, because they're going to see him at the highest level, so people watch the college to almost see the next generation sort of thing. Am I right there?
And sometimes, like, yeah, and I kind of prefer watching college, because the people playing in the NBA, like, they all care about the playoffs, but like watching LeBron James in the middle of like the season, there's no guarantee that he actually cares about winning, especially if he's playing like a not great team. College, all these guys are like there, and
Desperate.
every single game, everyone's fighting, everyone's scrapping, everyone's trying to get as many wins as they can, and it's so much more passionate.
I like that, man. I like that. I'll have to see if I can get into one of these American sports. I don't know which one.
Damn,
I
I've
mean,
just put-
if you ever want to watch college basketball, most of the time, I've decided that for this season with my university, I'm streaming every single game into my Discord, because no one's going to watch the game anyways, because it's not on any television anywhere. So if I'm going to watch it, I can get some other people to watch it with me.
Yeah, that'd be good, man. That'd be good.
I've just put the clip that I was talking about in this call, so you can watch it later. It is like the talent is remarkable. This is the one I was talking about, North Carolina. Madness.
I did.
And that one's extra, like, that the rivalry between Duke and North
Yes.
Carolina, the only way that I can compare it is something like, probably like the Merseyside Derby, honestly. Like, it's total hatred.
To be fair, outside of football though, even in school when I was in secondary school, basketball was the main sport, because our PE teacher was big into basketball, really tall guy, and that's all we like. He pushed that a lot. And we had at school we had a basketball team, and we were good, man. We won out for our year. I think it was like year 8, year 9 at the time. So what, we were like 14 maybe, 15, yeah, probably about 14. We won our city league for basketball. So can imagine me in front of the old basket on the old layups and bouncing and stuff.
Yeah, I always loved
Bouncing
playing it
and
because I'm
stuff. I mean, that is tremendous, mate.
absolutely showing off all the knowledge.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Knowledge
mean,
bomb.
I'm pretty tall, so that's my phone
Yeah.
somewhere in my room.
Answer it.
Go on, answer it.
I don't really want to. I'll let my parents get it. They'll deal with it. The phone's over this shoulder, over there. You can probably see it, but no,
It's
I'm.
mad, right? You've got a phone
I'm
in your room, and previously we had Proudy and he can't even drink in his room.
Yeah. I was doing
but my I'm very tall. I'm 6'5". I don't know what that translates to in
wow.
British.
We do.
That means
we-
you're
6'5".
yeah.
fractionally 6'5". You're fractionally taller than me. So you're a tall man.
I'm quite tall, so I always played basketball up until when I
Prove it,
really
stand
got
up.
into swimming. I mean, my
Make
camera's
sure your
It's gonna
trousers
be a
are on.
cock shot,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
It's gonna be a massive cock shot, yeah.
yeah. Oh, look at that headset hair. Go on, son. Oh, he's a big boy, isn't he?
I mean,
oh
to
my
be fair,
word.
I look tall stood here.
The further back you go, the smaller you get.
I don't know what you guys have said about me.
You'll have to watch it back.
He said, you can't say it again. Actually, watch
The further back you go, the smaller you get.
You look like an action man at the back. there.
You're almost a foot taller than me. I'm not that small. I'm not Curry.
Oh, I was gonna say, imagine him and Curry. Wow, we need to get that. That's a collaboration we need to get involved in.
Did you never push the basketball thing a lot further? Or were you just not
I did. My high school had a really good team of like players that like were actually asked to go to the school because they were good at basketball.
Yeah.
And I was good at basketball, but never that good. Yeah. And then I decided to just focus on swimming because I was better at that. I ended up making my state competition my senior year, so like pretty good. I probably could have swam collegiately if I wanted to, but I just kind of said,
Yeah.
To be like me, when I was doing my apprenticeship, it was 2009, 2010. I was doing my electrical apprenticeship, and we got to go to the college twice a week. And they had some guys there, and they're like, "Oh, do you wanna? You're really tall and quite big chap. Do you want to come and do rowing with us? And we, you'll be on course to get into the Olympics doing rowing." I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to the Olympics. I'll fucking row a boat. I've done a pedalo before." Anyway, I turned up to the fucking thing the first time, and I did I think it was about an hour session at like 5 a.m. just up the road, and I couldn't walk for about 6.5 weeks. I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing that. No, imagine that. What a different life I'd have lived."
Rowing's like a big thing in America as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Definitely pretty big. I have a couple friends who did it. It was just not for me. I say 5 a.m. wake up sound terrible. That's what I did for swimming anyways, but I just was not for me.
Yeah, but you had to get in the water. And
it's a shame that he weren't on the other podcast because we could ask him about how he shaves. Does he below the belt grooming?
Do we do a special
Swimmers do, don't they? Swimmers do.
Yeah.
They shave, don't they?
Swimmers shave. Thank God I don't anymore, but I used to have to legs fully shaved, arms fully shaved, chest. Not the head. The head you can wear a cap over, but anything else.
Anything else?
See, Dave, that would be right up your street because you haven't grown any other hair anywhere else on your body yet.
No, mate. Mate, if I got a chest hair, it is clean, mate. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah. What about your armpits?
I got hair on armpits,
A little bit.
Have you got pubes, Dave?
Yeah. I'm a scholar, mate.
Dave counts them every night and he just ties knots in the end of them so they don't grow back in.
Yeah. Got hairy,
shaves his head and then just glues it on it. Will from the In-Betweeners when she puts her wig down.
Hairy toes, mate. That's about it, mate.
Wowza. Confirmed. Yeah. There you go. There's the title for the fucking podcast.
Let's move on anyway.
Swiftly.
We talk about people's interests, Joe. We always kick off with books. Are you a big book reader? You got some books behind you there?
I have some books above my head.
Yeah.
They must be high.
Look at that.
You got some
I
books
used to love to read, and then got to about middle school and discovered video games and never looked back.
Yeah.
But like I love reading when I have free time, but as someone who's still a student, I don't have a lot of free time. And then throw in the fact that I also stream now during my free time, and reading is kind of like more than anything I read when I'm reading for school.
If there was like a go-to book though, something that you have read previously that you think, wow, that was amazing. Like, is there anything that you'd recommend?
Number one, without a doubt, Moneyball. It's about baseball. It's the reason I want to work in sport because of it. It's like 100% like determined my career path.
You want to meet Brad Pitt, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say no to that, to be fair. But no, it's
Dr. Benji.
For me, it was just the.
What did you say, Joe?
It was just the.
I know what he said. I think I know what he said, but I didn't hear it.
But it's like it's a good combination of like math and also baseball, which was the sport that I grew up loving, and it's 10 out of 10 for me. I've probably read it 6 times and watched the movie.
I've watched the film
twice.
a lot, yeah.
You ever,
good.
A lot of people are doing Moneyball Football Manager saves this year. Joe, would you ever consider doing something like that?
Definitely. I mean, I practically do it anyways, going back to the fact that I know how to sign, but I don't know how to actually play the game. But
yeah,
I think one of the things, it's a line from the book that I've always heard is nothing's ever not for sale. It's every single player on your team, if you get the price, they can go and you can find someone cheaper.
Yeah.
And
agreed.
like the only team that can't do that is, or the only team that can afford not to do that is like United in FM. Because they can just buy whoever they want.
Yeah.
But like, especially if you're doing a longer save, if you get an offer for one of your star players, just replace him with a new one. Find the next Brazilian wonder kid.
I like this.
Yeah. That sounds similar to obviously your sort of philosophy, Joe, in general anyway with games. Like you've always said that players always have a price, even set release clauses with a price that you'd be happy to let them go at as well. So
yeah, definitely.
I think I've taken that on a lot more this year, and I would agree that you can always find a replacement until my best left back gets his release clause activated on deadline day, and I absolutely shit myself trying to find a replacement. So definitely.
Yeah, but there is the option. There's the option that you can select where it says until I've signed a replacement.
Yeah, but they activated it.
So you can sell them you can sell them the value. Yeah. Oh, sorry. If it was a release clause, sorry. Yeah.
They just put it in and accepted it straight away, and I was just there like Warnock meme here.
Yeah.
Just on a completely different point, Dave. Who did you look at? Because I might be in for a left back of my Villa save. Just
mate. We'll
talk after the pod.
Yeah,
we'll talk after the pod.
Mate. Yeah. In terms of this, will be an interesting one, Andrew. TV shows. So a lot of we have a couple of American guests. Well, we've had Soccer with Brian on, but a lot of the English guests that we ask about TV shows, probably 90% of it is American-based shows anyway. But like, what are you watching now? Or what's your go-to TV series? Something that you've watched previously that you would fully recommend?
Currently in the process of watching Narcos on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Great show.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if I turn on the TV, a lot of the times it's sports, like we talked about. There's just so much on, and I'm such an addict that I might as well. But one of the ones that I did watch for a little while, it's another one on Netflix that I got lucky with. It's Last Chance U. Once again, it's more sports. You'll see very quickly all I do is sports. But all of them, or both of them, phenomenal.
You've ever been a big fan of like the stuff like US Office, Friends, or?
I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's mindless. You can sit there and watch it and enjoy it. But it's oftentimes, if I was going to do that, I'd end up putting myself on Call of Duty instead.
Yeah. And then finally, podcasts. Do you go out your way to listen to any podcasts? Are you a big podcast listener?
I used to back when I was like driving to school or walking to and from class. But I've found that, especially during lockdown, being at home, all I do is sit at my desk. And I just am either watching a stream or like streaming or doing stuff. So I haven't had as much time for podcasts as I would have liked.
Yeah.
Since March.
What sort of podcast did you listen to? Sports ones, I'd assume, or?
Yeah, it was a lot of like, not even podcasts, but a lot of like the radio shows that all the people put on ESPN. There's pretty much always a radio show, and some of the ones like Mike and Mike is really good. Colin Cowherd has a decent one. And then, yeah, that's most of what I would listen to. But,
well, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Really appreciate you coming on, having a chat about Thanksgiving and life and sports and everything. So yeah, real appreciate you coming on. If anyone wanted to find you and check out your streams, where's the best place for people to get you on the social medias?
Yeah, so I'm most active on Twitter. All of it is Jeter, Jeter 7256. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Twitch. You can find old videos on YouTube. If you look up the Union Berlin saved, it's me getting sacked. So feel free to enjoy episodes of me getting sacked. And if you want to see me get sacked, I'm also doing that on Twitch. It's a common theme. I'm not good at FM, but if you want to see me, it's all the same name, Jeter7256.
Appreciate that, man. And the links will be in the description anyway, guys, for Jeter and the rest of us as well. As always, look after yourselves. Be sure to hit the like button down below. Subscribe to the channel. Links to each of us. Links to the professionals if you are struggling mentally as well. Let us know in the comment section down below if you enjoyed it today as well, or if you've got any questions for future pods. And until next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch you all very soon. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.